Hey everybody, I'm Tommy. Welcome to the stream. We're gonna be exploring in the water today, so I hope you're not afraid to get wet. Feels nice, it's all hot today. So streams are really interesting because you can learn a lot about them, and they will tell you a lot about the health of the woods and about the health of the area. So I'm gonna show you a couple techniques, and we're gonna look for some critters that'll tell us whether or not this stream is a healthy stream. Maybe you have a stream in your backyard, or maybe you live close to a park where there's a stream, or maybe you can go try to hunt one down. Because anything that we're gonna do today, you can do in any other stream. So a great way to find out what's going on in your stream is to start looking over some of these rocks. Now, we gotta be really careful to take good care of the stream while we're inside of it. So there's some really special ways that you can go about picking up some of these rocks. So what you're gonna wanna do, reach your hand in, grab a rock, and you wanna go slow and straight up, pull it out, and flip it over. Now what you find underneath might be little macro invertebrates. If you can see here, I think we have a little snail hiding in his shell. He says, "Put my home back." And then there's this little guy, another macroinvertebrate. We can put him straight into our cup. So what I have here is just a little plastic cup and a little paintbrush. Nice and careful. We can swipe some of these guys away. You can see that they're very tiny. A macroinvertebrate is a kind of animal that doesn't have any sort of spine like we do. But macro means that they're big enough to be able to see them with our eyes. Even though they're big enough to be able to see with our eyes, they're still very small. So you have to be really gentle. So you just kind of brush along the rock until they cling onto your paintbrush. And then you can dip into the water so they have a place to swim around. Once they're in the cup, they're a little easier to see. Got a little clam here. You might think you'd only see these in the ocean, but if you go into your creeks or your streams or your rivers, I bet you'll find some too. He's all closed up tight. You put him back in the water. This guy right here, he looks like a little moving circle. I'm gonna see. This is what we call a water penny, because it's in the water, and he kind of looks like a penny. That's another really good sign. All these animals mean that this is a healthy stream. A lot of these can't really survive in a stream that is polluted or full of toxic things. This one is looking pretty good because it's got our little friends here. And water pennies like to hold on to things, so you can stick them onto your finger. You can put them on your face as like a little freckle. Fashion accessory. Just like that. Right here, you look over in the water, we've got what's left over from an old snapping turtle. You can see his shell, that armor on the back to keep him safe. Inside right here, you can see all these connections in here. Picked up another rock, and if you can see really close, all these tiny pebbles here, it looks like just a clump of rocks, but it's actually a little caddisfly house. So a caddisfly larva will eventually grow up to be a caddisfly. See if he wants to come out and play. These look like little grubs or centipedes. So if you turn over most any rock in a creek like this, you're hoping that you're gonna find a caddisfly house made out of little rocks. Come see this. That right there is my friend the snapping turtle. He's probably about 4 or 5 years old. He's a A little nervous probably about his new situation. Oh, that's a cool looking guy right there. You can see he's got a shell just like that other guy that we saw. Only his is attached to him. That's why they call them snapping turtles. Alright, now I'm gonna go let him go. So like you can see, there's a lot to do in a creek. There's a lot to turn over, there's a lot to explore. And you can do this anywhere you are in the world if there's water. So you can go find some rocks to overturn maybe in your neighborhood. Just take a cup and a paintbrush and you can start looking for macroinvertebrates. See if it's a healthy stream. In just a minute, I'm gonna send you guys off with Jen. And Jen is gonna show you a really cool art project to do next time you find yourself near some water. Let's go find out.
Hi, I'm Jen and I'm in the creek today to do an art project that revolves around the creek. I'm going to read kind of like a little story to you. You could imagine that you're in a creek while you are doing this. And then it'll get you set up to do a watercolor painting of your favorite water place. You are to try to imagine the things you will hear me describing. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Relax and do your best to picture what I'm describing. You are sitting on the edge of a stream. Your bare feet are swinging in clear, clear water. The water feels good, but it's cool. You feel a current washing over your feet, pulling at them. Think about the water flowing past your feet until it reaches a larger stream. The water connects you with the larger stream. Feel its more powerful flow. See the green ribbon of trees and plant life on the banks. The larger stream carries the water past flat farmlands, cities, factories, and forests until it eventually reaches the sea. Through your feet and the continuous currents of the water, you can sense the sea. Now stretch your mind and realize that you interconnect with all the world's oceans. You are now touching one single body of water that stretches all around the world. Your own body contains water that's part of this system. Your touch laps against the shores of the Pacific Ocean. It flows under the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco Bay. It leaps and plunges around oil drilling platforms in the North Atlantic. It pours from the sky as a storm rages dark and gray. It drenches an Alaskan native who shivers on the Arctic shores before her parka begins to warm her. It glistens on the back of a Greek boy who tugs fiercely on fishing nets in the warm Mediterranean Sea. Water connects your feet with every stream flowing into the oceans around the world. You can reach up the rivers to the hearts of the continents. You can feel the tremor of the hippopotamus that just dove into an African river. You can feel an alligator silently sliding towards a heron in the Florida Everglades. You can feel beavers busily building a dam on a stream in Europe. You can see water, thousands of tons of it, in great drifting fleets of heavy white clouds. Your reach embraces all the whales, all the porpoises, all the sharks. You are connected with the mythic creatures living only in the minds of people in the past, mermaids, citizens of Atlantis, and the mythic monsters that swim in the Loch Ness. Your feet feel the flow of the current of the miles-wide Amazon River in South America, the ancient Nile River pushing north through Africa, the Colorado River thundering with a boat full of river rafters through the Grand Canyon. Your watery embrace wraps all around the earth. And of course, the water flowing over your feet connects you with everyone else who is now sitting with feet dangling in a stream, wondering where water goes. It's time to come back. Bring the limits of your senses back from the world's rivers and oceans, back to the surfaces of your feet, back to where you are. When you feel ready, you may open your eyes. Now would be a great time to do a watercolor craft, to do a watercolor painting. You're going to need watercolor paints, paper, and a paintbrush. You can really make a painting about anything that you want, although after that story, I'm inspired to do a painting of my favorite body of water, which is a lake that we used to visit when I was a kid on summer vacations. If you did have access to a stream or something, you could actually use the water from the stream as the water for your watercolors. Just dip your brush in the water to get it wet, and then get it in your paint and get started. When you need to rinse it off, you can rinse it in the stream. Enjoy finishing your watercolor painting.